Hello and welcome to the dinner table. How's it going over there in Mequon on a big day? It is Gig's birthday today.
Gig's birthday. I'm so excited for him to come upstairs. We do this thing every year where we put our signs up, and really been taking on the tradition. And he puts these signs up that HAPPY spells out our birthday or our name, and then a little adjective that describes us. And it's so cute. And so we did the same for him, obviously, and we're waiting for him to come up.
Who started it? I started that, right?
Cameron, what?
I think I started that back
Cameron,
at
I
Highlands
started
Court.
it at Highlands Court.
Are you sure about that?
Yes, I did. And then that yellow wall. Why do you think you would be the one to start?
I know.
Have you ever done it? Have you ever done it before? Has Cameron ever
was the
wrote?
original one to do it.
I
Your
think you're like the
handwriting.
least likely person to start that tradition.
I think that was me to start.
Like Cameron writes like a third grader. I couldn't imagine seeing that stuff up there.
I'm glad
Okay,
you
what
guys
are the
carrying
what
on
are
my
the
tradition?
what are the adjectives for Gigs?
We just did gigs, and G is greatest of all time, and then I is intelligent. Okay, the other G is
Greatest of all time again.
godlike.
Okay, wow.
Godlike, because I thought he was gonna laugh at that one. And then S is sports fanatic.
Nice. Okay,
A lot of
wow.
hyphenations there. Wow.
Really went
Oh,
to
like-
work last night.
Oh, like 2-word things.
Yeah.
Yes.
I do what hyphenation.
Well,
hyphenated is.
Yeah, but if this was your tradition, you would know that we do that a lot. So that's not rare.
All right. How was your guys' weekend? What did you do? I haven't even spoken to you.
What did I do this weekend? I was at the gym a lot. Girls Youth League going on. Nothing crazy, really.
Is that your weekend every weekend?
The next 6 weeks. Yeah. Yeah, it's stuck at the gym. But I did do some fun stuff, too. What did we do? Oh, went to the Marquette game on, what was that, Saturday? Friday night, yeah.
Friday night, yeah.
Friday night. Yeah, we had some fun. It was Marquette versus George Mason in the Al. That's a fun environment when the men's team plays in there. Every time I'm in there and I'm like, I wish the women's environment was
Oh my
like
gosh,
this.
I say it every time.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Ugh.
I'm just like, it'd be
Not
so
to
cool.
put that on you, but
Yeah. No, it'd be cool. I mean, it is like that when we play big time top teams, but not like that where it's all
not quite
students
like that. Yeah,
everywhere.
yeah.
It's insane. Like even UConn, there's a lot of like still older fan base and
Mm-hmm.
stuff, but it's not even like that in the Pfizer. Like having students that close to you and
Yeah.
all around you. It's like Cameron Indoor.
it literally is like Cameron Indoor. That's it, and it's fun too for that one game. I'm sure Marquette loses some money by not getting all the ticket sales at Pfizer Forum, but obviously it's fun to do for one game at least.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's a cool thing.
Yeah.
I babysat all Friday the Deaners. It was so funny. I was with little Joya. She's the 3-year-old for Travis Deaner's kid. From literally 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. So we spent the entire day together.
Really?
Love that kid. She's great. So yeah, we had some fun. And then on Saturday, I have been literally watching so many games since
Yeah.
college basketball season started, and football obviously this weekend. But like that was just so fun. Saturday all day, Sunday all day. I had to catch up on a lot of ones that I have coming up here to call. So it'll be good.
Who are you checking
Sounds
out?
fun.
So I'll talk about it in my course. I got a little.
We won't jump ahead.
We won't jump ahead right now, but I'm saying I had to watch South Carolina this weekend because I'm going to be calling them in the Fort Myers tournament. And then I had to watch Virginia Tech. I watched all my Fort Myers tournament teams this weekend. So South Carolina, Virginia Tech, watched Belmont and Davidson as well. And then, oh gosh, Iowa State, watched Iowa State and Kenzie Hare. And then a couple fun games as well. Notre Dame, Purdue. I'm
Yep.
calling a Purdue game, but Notre Dame, talk about them. They're phenomenal this year. So it was really fun to watch them. And then, yeah, gosh, there was a ton. And then Marquette, of course. So then Marquette played Illinois. Tough game, but good to watch them as well and get studied up on how they're going to be this year. So
Yeah, Chloe's babysitting every single time I talk to her. She's you just got to put your name out there. Anyone who needs a babysitter, Chloe is available right now until
No.
she does her
no,
her
please
thing with
pause the
broadcasting.
screen. Please pause, because this is what mom does. This is what mom does. She's like, she babysits everyone. I babysit 2 families that I love that are like family to us, you know? And it's so funny because it's great. I mean, like, it's awesome and it's something extra for me to do during the day and help them out. But also, I am with kids maybe 15 hours a day now because I babysit during the day. Because
and then into the night, Club 52.
My 3 to 9 is all with kids from 3rd grade to 8th grade. So, yeah, but it's fun.
How about
All
you?
right.
Car?
Well, I was in Minneapolis for the weekend. It was a blast. I mean, I only went Saturday and came back Sunday, but just visited some girlfriends, and then one of my friends, Katie, had her baby shower, so that's why I went up there. I mean, I love
Sweet.
Minneapolis. They always try and convince me to move there, and I'm like, whenever I'm there, I'm like, oh, if my family would just live here, I honestly would, because I love it. But
It's
yeah,
so
so it was really
Milwaukee,
fun, quick.
though.
Yeah, it gives like similar it gives
But no
Bigger.
similar
lake.
vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it was a good weekend. But okay, we have a decent amount to talk about on our courses this week. This week I'm going to do some quick hits with the biggest stories people are talking about right now in the national media and get your guys' reaction. So are you guys ready to go?
Yeah, we're
Let's
locked
do
in.
it.
Hey, sweet Chloe, you can read our ad then to get us started.
Okay, yeah, no problem. This week is sponsored by Ace Hardware. What is the line for Ace Hardware?
No, I think you're thinking of Menards. Save big money at Menards, maybe.
I actually wasn't thinking of ours. I was clear. I was thinking of Ace.
What's Ace Hardware's slogan? I don't
The
think that.
folks or something like that. God, we gotta look this up. Man, we can't be messing up on our sponsors now.
But I
Lose
don't
a
never
couple
heard
dimes because of that.
never heard of Ace Hardware having an ad with Kim.
don't think Ace Hardware
or a
has
slogan.
It's like the first
Yeah.
thing I could think of.
All right. So first story for me is Giannis and Jaylen Brown. Second quarter of the Bucks
Yeah.
versus Celtics game. Giannis was called for an offensive foul for swinging his elbow up near Brown's head. Seconds after, Giannis joking around, playful. They're walking back. He puts his hand out and like takes it away like a fake handshake, one of those like, oh, too slow, when you do when you're a kid. So it's like kind of funny, he had a huge smile on his face. People watching are like, oh, LOL, like it's second quarter, no big deal. So Jaylen Brown didn't think it was funny after the game. Brown wasn't having it, saying Giannis is a child. Brown told reporters after the game, I'm just focused on helping my team get a win, and that's what we did tonight. Then Giannis was asked about it. He said, oh, that's what he said? Dang. He said, I was a child. I thought I gave him a compliment, and he was just going at me. But at the same time, this is who I am. I play the game with fun, joy. Thoughts on that interaction between the two?
Did you watch Jaylen? I think Jaylen was joking when he said that about Giannis being a big kid. I thought it was all kind of fun and games.
Okay, I'm glad.
Yeah, and then Giannis's response in the post. It's so funny to hear you read it and then like watch his response because he's like so joking in the post game press conference. But Jaylen kind of said it with a wry smile when you see the video. It's pretty funny. He's like, Giannis is a child, basically.
Oh, okay. That's
People-
that's better.
People are taking that out of context then because everyone is like kind of being like he responded to it in a weird way. But
Yeah,
that's how you took it.
I think the way I took it was that he's just going along with the joke, basically, like, trying to feed into it and play off it. I think if he was really upset about somebody going too slow to you, like, then he's the actual child.
Yeah, seriously. No, I saw the initial thing on ESPN, like the video of it, Giannis doing it, but I never saw the post conference. So it's so interesting.
I think Jaylen Brown is just so subdued that like people think he's serious.
That's true.
That's true. I also do feel like Jaylen Brown is one of the guys who wouldn't be able to take a joke though. That's why I feel like people are also taking it seriously because it's like he just doesn't seem like the guy to like go along with that or to mess
Yeah.
around with during a game like that.
And Giannis did drive to the hoop after that, and he fouled him kind of hard. Did you see that too?
No.
They reviewed it and everything. Like Giannis drove to the hoop, and Jaylen Brown like he like shoulder shrugged him in the paint.
Gosh.
Yeah,
I
so-
thought it was hilarious. And I think too, Giannis's point, like he always has fun out there.
Yeah.
And like not a lot of guys and girls have fun out there. Like they're so serious, they're so locked in, they can't loosen up. He loosens up. It's good.
So much fun for us being 2-8 right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. I'm like we
But
might
he had
need
a great game.
Yeah.
we might need to
He's
change
been
things
phenomenal.
around.
Giannis is like the MVP of the year right now, and we're 2-8.
Yeah. So
Holy smokes.
Yeah. We'll see what happens there. I bet I know they're looking to trade everyone except for Giannis and Dame. So we'll see what the Bucks look like in a few weeks.
Nothing we can do. We're stuck in our ways right now. No one wants
Yeah.
No one wants Brooke Lopez, and nobody wants for the amount of money that we paid him, and nobody wants Bobby
Bobby.
Portis or Pat Connaughton, and then we have no first round or second round picks for the next 6 years. So could be meek for
Ooh.
us in Milwaukee for the next couple of years, maybe.
Yeah.
Cam, I was asked how realistic it is that Giannis leaves the Bucks because there's so much national media talking about it right now. How would you answer that question? I know he's kind of locked in. It says he's under contract to 2026, 27, but
Yeah, I think this is something a little different for Milwaukee sports fans. I don't think we've ever had you know, we really haven't had many superstars, at least for the Bucks. And the way that the rumor mill goes in the NBA is like, if you have a superstar and your team's not doing well, automatically it gets going that guy's going to get traded. To me, I don't think it's talked about much within the Bucks organization. Like, they came out and even said that there has been absolute no discussions about us trading Giannis. I don't think Giannis wants to get traded. He doesn't take me as that type of guy, like where the team's not doing well. He's
Right.
like, I'm out of here. Especially when we brought in Dame Lillard, who, from all the reports, it sounds like that was who Giannis wanted to play with. We've done everything to, bring in Doc Rivers because that's the guy who we wanted to be coached by. So, I think we've done everything to help him out. It's just the team's not winning right now. So I think it's more so coming just from the national media when they don't have anything to talk about when the Cowboys suck and the Lakers are not as good.
all right, let's get into the Cowboys. After Sunday's loss, dropped the Dallas Cowboys to 3-6. Pass rusher Micah Parsons was asked what he would tell people wondering whether Mike McCarthy would be the head coach in 2025. Parsons says, "That's above my pay grade. If Mike's coach again next year. All coaching aside, Mike can leave and go where he wants to." Guys I kind of feel bad for is guys like Zach Martin and guys who might be on their last year on their way out, because that's who I wanted to hold the trophy for. You want to win games and do great things with those type of legends who put in more time and work than Mike McCarthy ever did. So those are the kind of guys that I have so much sympathy and hurt for. Now, this guy, on the other hand, was for sure serious.
As serious as a heart attack.
For real.
mean,
Harsh.
that is harsh. Not for our guy Mike. I like him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's insane. I mean, first off, I think we all come from this is gonna sound old school, but like, you would never talk about your coach in any light like that, and it's just kind of sad, especially when it's your star player. I mean, just save it for the locker room, or if you have issues with Mike McCarthy, bring it up to him. To me, it's just arrogance. It's part of like being a Dallas Cowboy too. Like, those guys could kind of do that. They get a little big headed. And then also, like, Micah Parsons, you've not been anything this year. You've been injured. You haven't had anywhere near the season that you've had in past years. Like, put a little bit of blame on yourself too. And it's not all on Mike McCarthy. Sure, he deserves some blame and whatnot, but I mean, these guys got to step up. They're getting paid millions and millions of dollars, and the team, everyone thought they were going to be a decent team this year, and they're really struggling.
I'm having a hard time with this whole old school, like, you respect your coach. Like, I think that should be, like, new school to the day. Like, that is the number one thing. Like, you respect your coach. I think coaching in the NFL and in professional NBA, whatever it is, has got to be so hard because those guys are a little bit older. They think they know everything. They've had all the experience, this and that, whatever. But you still, I mean, that to set the standard of respecting your coach is, like, the number one thing as a player. It's just, it's sad that it's like old school talk. Like, there's so many things these days that, like, you can't push people as hard as you used to be able to push them. You can't, like, it's just, I don't get that at all. It makes me mad, honestly.
And like the fact that he says Mike McCarthy's not putting in the same hours as Zach
I was
Martin.
just going to say that.
Like, I'm sure Mike McCarthy's showing up to the office early. I'm sure it's driving him nuts that they're not winning this year. I'm sure he's watching film nonstop. Probably hasn't talked to his family, doesn't go to any of his kids' games and stuff. Like, you're going to put him on blast in front of the whole media and basically say, like, he's not working hard. That's why we're losing. I call BS.
And just rude. Like, coaches give up their entire life, just like you just mentioned, to coach. And, like, it's under so much pressure. So
especially to last thing I'll say about this, especially like when Mike McCarthy is the one of the number one targets of the national media. He gets enough hate from everybody else. Why you got to throw extra hate on him from your own team?
Right.
that's wild.
Right. And of course, like, every coach handles it so professionally. I saw something like McCarthy answered it like, we handled it. We talked about it. It's all good. Like, so it's like, the coach is he's never going to throw his player under the bus. He takes responsibility. He's an adult. Obviously, we're also big Mike McCarthy fans over here, but and he's a Super Bowl winning coach. Like, come on. So,
Yeah.
yeah. All right, we're sticking with the Cowboys because this team. This is my last quick hit.
And
But
now we sound like ESPN.
yeah,
I
no,
know.
we do. But honestly, it cracks me up. So now we're gonna talk about the sun issue in the Cowboy Stadium. I don't know if you guys have been
Oh,
seeing this.
yeah.
Yeah. So the rays shining through the end zone glass doors have affected some critical moments over the years, like Sunday's missed touchdown pass to CeeDee Lamb late in the second quarter. Lamb told reporters after the game he couldn't see the ball. When asked if he was in favor of curtains, Lamb said yes, 1000%. Curtains over the glass doors have been suggested and rejected before, though they're used during concerts. And then Jerry Jones was asked about it. And Jones said, by the way, we know where the sun is going to, by the way, we know where the sun is going to be by when we flip the coin. So we don't know where the damn sun is going to be in our stadium. Let's just tear the damn stadium down and build another one. Are you kidding me? So I'm wondering who you guys are with. Jerry Jones being like, this is such crap, like, or CeeDee Lamb actually being like, I can't see the ball. I don't know if you saw it. Like he didn't catch it. And then he was like, the sun.
Hey, CD, that sun's shining on everybody on the field, buddy. All 22 players. Like, just another excuse from a Cowboy. And if I'm Jerry Jones, I'm pissed. He just built this
Right.
huge, big stadium for billions of dollars.
Let's
Right.
knock it down and build another one.
Yeah, I didn't even hear him say that, but that's hilarious. That's exactly how I would be too. And he paid CeeDee Lamb all this money. Yo, bro, catch the ball. Like, figure it out.
Catch the ball, figure it out. I'm going to argue it a little bit, though, Cameron, because the Al McGuire Center, when the curtains aren't down, we can't see anything. You can't see the court, like the rim. You can't shoot from the corner. I'm like, and it has to be down. Every single practice, it has to be down. Every game, it has to be down. And when you get in there and you're maybe shooting alone, like this is what I'm talking about. They don't ever not put it down. So I can understand it, but it does happen to everyone. And there wasn't another instance in that game for the, what team were they playing?
The Cowboys this past week, the
Yeah.
Eagles.
The Eagles, yeah. I was watching that game because I got Jalen Hurts as my quarterback and CeeDee Lamb as my wide receiver. So when you missed that catch, it was a big deal for me in my fantasy league. So I'm a little bit on your side, but I also can understand how annoying it is, like on your home field, to not be able to catch a ball in the end zone because of the sun. But don't blame it on that, please.
And it's just one of those things you probably don't bring up.
Exactly. To the media and like on the field, like I think maybe afterwards you can have a conversation with somebody about, hey,
Yeah.
It's a little embarrassing.
It sounds like these Cowboy players need some media
Training.
education. Yeah, some training.
I'll come in.
Yeah, hey guys, we don't talk about the stadium and we don't talk about the staff. And
I know.
don't say anything bad about Jerry because remember he's the owner of the team.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, have your quarterback say, we effing suck on
Yeah.
TV. Like, I mean, they've been really just
Oh yeah, yeah.
Dak Prescott the other day.
Well, and then what about their cornerback too? What's his name? He's the brother of the receiver on the Houston Texans now, Diggs. Diggs, the cornerback, came out and got into that spat with the news reporter who was asking him the question too.
Oh,
yeah.
I missed that.
No, I saw that too.
He got
but
all in his face and was like yelling at him and swearing at him and stuff.
there's trouble in paradise down there.
Yeah.
This is always what happens. They think they're like better than everybody so that they can go step out of line. They're like Hollywood, so Hollywood over there.
I know.
All
The
right,
Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders are the new face.
I think we have time for one more. And this is just quick, but if you guys saw it from the 49ers game, Deebo Samuel pushing the long snapper, he kind of like got in his face. It seemed like a little bit of a push after the 49ers missed 3 field goals. So your thoughts on that exchange? I know there's been a lot of discourse afterwards and they've kind of moved on from it.
Here's exactly what happened.
Okay.
And I don't know this for a fact, but I know this for a fact. This is
Here's exactly what
This is
happened.
exactly what happened. They didn't show it on TV. I don't know any lip reading. I'll just give you the exact breakdown here. So Moody, their kicker, first off, he's coming back off an injury. It's his first week back. He missed, I think, 3 field goals. On the third field goal he missed, it was pretty sure to tie the game. He misses it. Deebo Samuel comes over and he says probably something along the lines like, make a freaking kick. What's wrong with you? He's talking some shit to him. The snapper probably had his back saying like, this isn't the right time or place, especially the game was going on and they were still down by 3 points. he probably was like, this isn't the right time or place, and Deebo didn't want to hear any of it and just shoved him right in the neck. And it's like one of those other instances, like, okay, Deebo, maybe save that for after the game as well, because your guy's going to have to come in and make another kick in this game, and he did. And he came in and made the game winning kick in overtime. So,
but knowing Deebo and that personality, you got to think that he came in, hit that kick, and then Deebo was like, that's because I got into his face and told him he had to hit that. Yeah. It's because of him.
And it's like Deebo's nowhere to be found after he made the kick. Everyone else is celebrating with Moody. I didn't even see him in the thing.
Yeah. The only reason it's blown over is because he made the kick and they won the game. Yeah. If not, this would still be talked about. Totally. But they're like, we're moving on. Things get heated during a game. It is what it is. But
I love that long snapper though. Going back at Deebo Samuel, I mean, the long snapper is getting paid the least amount on the team, and Deebo Samuel's getting paid the most amount. It's like he goes right back at him like, "F you, man!" Like they're going at it. It was actually. I love that he's protected the kicker.
Yeah.
Because the long snapper, the kicker, and the punter probably spend like all the time together at practice. They're almost like a separate part of the team. And, Deebo's coming out one of them, so he had his back.
Well, if I was the kicker, I'd definitely be Moody.
Yeah. And he was.
And Giggs always says, the long snapper, holder, those guys have the hardest position in football. You only talk about them when something goes wrong. So
it's true. That's true. Or when they get throat punched.
All right. Chloe, what do you have? Give us some updates on women's basketball.
Okay, so like I said, I watched a ton of games this weekend. South Carolina has not had their full squad yet, which is really interesting because they obviously look great. So, this weekend, they're now 2-0, and they played Michigan in their first game, which was a very close game. Credit to Michigan because they got some studs on their team. They got all these freshmen. They start 3 freshmen that are in Coach J's position group. So credit to Coach J, best position coach in the country. And she, so they had a good game, but South Carolina pulled it out. And then they play NC State, and NC State's 9 in the country. South Carolina is number 1 in the country. So this is a close game. And they're going back and forth kind of a little bit, but you could tell it was in the hands of South Carolina the entire time. So they had Watkins is one of their post forwards, and she was in trouble earlier and was accused of sexual harassment and kidnapping. And I don't know if you guys heard about it.
Oh, yeah.
South Carolina?
Yeah. What?
I remember hearing about this.
Yeah. And here, I'll show you the...
What?
Yeah, it was kind of crazy, but it's dismissed. So she was out for a long time, and
now she's back playing.
Yeah, and Dawn Staley talks about this.
Was it all like a hoax?
No, I don't know the details of it, to be honest with you. It's really just been kind of talked about, but also kind of like pushed under the rug in a little bit because you don't want to,
accuse somebody who's not guilty.
Not guilty, exactly. So she was found not guilty. It was all dismissed and that thing. It didn't
even go to court though.
You're asking a lot of questions I got to figure out here.
I'm watching his clicks back and forth on her iPad right now, and it's not loading. I'm like,
he's like, but Ashlyn Watkins is her first name. I couldn't think of her first name. So she's their forward. She's a junior. She's from Columbia, South Carolina.
Click on her name so I could see her.
Yeah, you'll recognize her.
Oh yeah.
So she's a great player for them. Super athletic and long.
She's the girl that got in that fight, right, in the game. She pushed her, and then her brother jumped onto the court.
No, that's Flau'jae Johnson.
No, but
it was Camila
against
Cardoso.
I think that she was in the fight first, and then Camila Cardoso came over and pushed the girl.
We'll have to recap this whole thing.
It was Ashlyn Watkins.
My hands are sweating. Like Cameron is putting me under so much stress right now.
Do you know women's college basketball or not? Jeez Louise. We're going to our expert over here, and she's boom, 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 back and forth.
I'm like, my hands are like, my palms are sweating. Like, I can't click on anything because Cam's like, what about this? And what about this? And what about this? Like, Jesus.
Eminem over here. Knees weak, palms are sweaty.
So, once I take a deep breath, I'm going to analyze this game for you. But anyways, Ashlyn Watkins is back.
Okay.
Whether you like it or not, the thing was dismissed. She's back in the game. Okay. Chloe Kitts is their other forward.
Yes.
Chloe Kitts was suspended for academic reasons.
Really?
This last game. Yes. And don't ask me any details.
What classes was she failing?
because they didn't say anything. Okay, they said it was just for academic reasons, and that was it. So she was sitting on the bench against North Carolina State. So they have not had their full roster, but you're gonna love this. And you've probably heard the name before, but Tahina Pow Pow, one of my favorite names. Ryan Rucco, when he says it, it's like the best thing ever. He's like, pow pow for three. Like it is the best thing. And she was dominant against NC State, and she's having a phenomenal start to her her season with South Carolina this year. Her outside game is huge. It's just really helping them out. So South Carolina is South Carolina. It'll be tough to beat them. But I'm telling you, Notre Dame is the team that I watched this weekend that I was just so impressed with. They played Purdue. Purdue's not ranked, but, it's still Purdue, and they got some talent on their team, especially some Indiana girls that have been great and in high school that have come out to Purdue now. But they demolished them. At one point in the game, it was a 50-point game. So 50-point lead that Notre Dame had. And I'll look up the final score, but basically, it was like Hannah Hidalgo and Olivia Miles together. They're the two guards on Notre Dame. They're actually like dominant. Like defensively and offensively, they dominate the floor. Hannah Hidalgo got Defensive Player of the Year as a freshman in the ACC last year, and the way she defends is incredible. Like you as the coach of Notre Dame, you have to be like, I have the prized possession right now. A sophomore guard who can score in every single place on the floor. And then you have the guard that can defend at any level. It's amazing to watch. And so they are dominant. They're number 6 in the country right now, but they are only going to keep going up. They got a lot of injuries, including Liza Carlin, who I played with for a while and who I believe is going to have a really great season. And so they're going to hope for those girls to come back. But, yeah, they ended up winning 102-58. It was a blowout.
When's their next game against, like, a top team so we can tune in?
So the next game against a top team is USC, which is going to be huge. They'll play Juju Watkins, who's number 3 in the country. Juju Watkins is obviously having a great start to her sophomore year and is really one of those girls that everyone's looking at this year. And that's going to be on November 23rd. It's going to be on NBC, sweet. So big time game to watch there.
Week of Thanksgiving.
So, all I'm saying is Notre Dame is coming for that top spot. UConn's and Paige Beckers is doing well as well. They're waiting for AZ Fudd to come back, which is going to help them. But the funniest thing, and I was going to save this for my best things I saw, but I picked another one. But Gino was asked after the game. He's like talking to the reporter about how the game was going and some of the corrections he made. And he said, I was basically he was yelling at his team because they kept just looking in the post like this. Like he was just like kept looking in the post and whatever. And he goes, I checked the roster and we don't have Olajuwon on our team. So I don't know why they'd be looking in the post that much. And he's saying this to the reporter. He just cracks me up. He'll say anything to them.
He is funny in those press conferences.
Yeah. So he said like that to his team in the middle of the timeout. Like I checked the roster and we don't have Olajuwon on our team. So I don't know why you keep looking at the post. Like let's move the ball around, like all this stuff. So yes, that was good. Kind of a messy description of our top teams that I've seen this weekend, but
no, you did great. You make me excited because it's like a reminder of all these stars that we have in women's college basketball right now, and I feel like my brain is so in football right now that I haven't like fully gotten into it yet. But like even just hearing Notre Dame, USC, like young superstars going at it in that game, I'm pumped.
Right, that's gonna be awesome. Also, Hannah Hidalgo's energy is unmatched. Like the way she celebrates when she gets a steal versus the way she celebrates when she gets an and one, it's the same type of passion, and that's what you love to see, the passion on defense versus offense. I could talk about her forever. I don't know if you guys know, Olivia Miles was like their guard. Her freshman year, she dominated, and then she tore her ACL. So then last year, Hannah Hidalgo came in and filled Olivia Miles' spot and had a phenomenal freshman year. So now they've been waiting to see how they're both going to play together. So Olivia Miles is back. Her first game back, she has a triple-double. Wow. So that's what I'm talking about. Like them two together is unreal. Their chemistry right now is great. People were a little worried about who was going to score, but it's a lot better than people were expecting as far as balance with it.
Awesome. All right. So a couple more things. Let's do quick the AP top 25 poll, and then we'll get into Cam's locks and recap last week, and I think he has one for you this week too. But so quickly to the AP Top 25 football poll. Not much has changed, so we're not going to get too into it. But the big thing is Georgia losing, which will flow right into Cam's segment. But Georgia lost to Ole Miss, and they dropped 9 spots to number 11. So really, we're just looking at the top 12 right now with the college football playoffs, coming quickly. There's only a few more weeks of the season. So Georgia's number 11. I personally dropped them to 14. So I dropped them out of the top 12.
Don't blame you.
Yeah, I was gonna say, let me know what you think of that.
I think Georgia all year, and this is they've been a weird team because they come out in the first half against Bama and look horrible. Second half, they look great. They lose the game. They play Texas, who people at the time were saying Texas is the best team in the country. Obviously, Texas is still in the top 4, I think.
Yeah.
And they smoked them at Texas. So they look good. Then they come out against Ole Miss, and it's like the same thing. They look horrible. They're not right now at a level of consistency that Georgia normally has and normally Kirby Smart coach teams have. So it's a little interesting. And Carson Beck has looked very average at best. He was a guy who Mel Kiper had on his draft boards at the beginning of the season, going in the first round, top 10 as a quarterback.
It's the curse that the Cavender twins has given him? Have you heard about that?
Oh, he's dating one of them, right?
He's dating one of the Cavender twins, and everyone thinks it's a curse. That they're calling it an influencer curse.
Well, because Jake Ferguson's dating the other one on the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
There's so many memes about Carson Beck, poor guy. But
Yes.
he hasn't looked great. So, and that leads me into my lock. I lost my lock last week to Ole Miss. Shout out Ernie Score at Ole Miss, and they smoked the Georgia Bulldogs. So I am now 5-5 overall, and it's a small sample size.
Yeah.
We'll don't judge me by my losses because I have very few, but that's a quote.
Nope.
I was gonna say,
Oh, okay.
I was like, you do have 5.
Okay, but
Just
here's
as many
the
as I
thing.
have wins.
Yes, but here's the thing. I was thinking about it like 5-5. Like I'm going to give you like a lot of credit because if I'm placing a bet, like I would love like 50-50.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing too. The segment's called Cam's Locks, but I've also put in a handful of underdog picks in there.
Okay.
So it's a little misleading. Like normally if you're saying Cam's Locks, I'm giving out, 2-1 favorites most of the time. So it is mostly just Cam's picks, and I try to give out a couple underdogs. So for tonight, I'm going to give out a parlay pick actually. So it's 2 teams together.
Okay, wow.
It should be if both these teams win, I get 2 wins, don't you think, or no?
Yes.
Okay.
Did you also get 2 losses?
You definitely do.
Okay, fine. That's
Don't
fine.
be
That's
CeeDee
fine.
Lamb.
That's fine. No, let's just do it all. It's all one pick. It's all one pick because I'm giving it together.
Just
Okay?
a miss, you messed up.
It's one pick. So if I win it, I'm 6-5. If I lose it, I'm 5-6.
Okay.
And then I got some more football picks later in the week coming.
Okay.
But for tonight, we have some big college basketball games. Michigan State plays Kansas in Atlanta in the State Farm Championship Classic, and Duke plays Kentucky also in the State Farm Championship Classic. Back-to-back games. I'm taking both the favorites. No surprise here. I got Kansas beat Michigan State. They got too many guys returning. Great point guard, DeJuan Harris. And obviously, the big fella inside is a monster. So there's a reason why he's got a $1 million chain that he wears because he's probably the best player in college basketball. And then, so I'm taking Kansas in that one money line, and then also Duke money line. So parlay those two together. Duke, Cooper Flag, and obviously, I think maybe the best player on the team, Con Knipple. They're gonna. Yeah. I'm not gonna say shock people because Duke's obviously one of the top teams in the country every single year. But I think they got the best. I would take them right now to win a national championship. That's how I feel about them.
Wow.
I'm talking about Con is.
Yeah.
He's so great to watch because he's so fundamentally sound but athletic at the same time. Like he's gonna be great.
Yeah, watch him tonight.
I'm pumped to watch Con.
This will be his breakout game because people have seen his highlights and they've played mediocre competition at home thus far this year, and now they're playing obviously Kentucky in a big game on ESPN. Like this will be the breakout game for him, and people will. He's not underrated because he was one of the top recruits coming in the country, but he should have been like number 2 behind Cooper Flag, and I'm sure that's how Duke coaching staff feels about him, and that's how his teammates feel about him, I'm sure, because he's just a beast.
Yeah. I'm excited.
Covering him
for
in
that.
covering him in the state tournament, I was so impressed watching him, and I kind of forgot about it for a second. So I actually do think it's a little underrated. Like, definitely not talking about him enough. So I'm
No,
pumped to watch it, and I know you guys know him pretty well. But I was like blown away too. He's just like such a great guy, like
very
very
humble.
humble.
Yep.
Hmm.
You know what's
Yes.
funny about him that I like is he trains at Athlete Performance and at the facility with Travis. So when he comes in, normally guys who go somewhere like during the summer, like Duke or whatever, they'll come back and they wear all their Duke stuff. He comes back and he's like just wearing like a regular like high school t-shirt and
green like rec department.
yeah, like just so like he doesn't want to be that guy who's like I'm Duke. You
Right.
know,
Yeah.
he just comes back and he's normal con nipple and I mean he's a stud. So I think if he was a little flashier and maybe talked about himself like these Dallas Cowboy guys, maybe he
True.
would be considered like the second pick in the draft. But I think his game will speak for himself tonight.
Absolutely. I totally agree.
Hold on, I'm gonna give you what the odds are for that parlay. One sec.
Okay.
So if you take that parlay tonight with money line on both of them, so money line Duke and money line Kansas, and you throw $100 on the game, it's about even. So that's an even pick. That's not a heavy favorite. It's right even. 100 to win 100. So
100 to win 100 to get your money back.
yep. Well, you get your money back, and it's just so the way it works is you put in 100.
Please explain for all of us. Sometimes we use a lot of betting terms, and I'm like, okay.
So it's what you risk and it's what you win. So if you put 100 in, you'd win 100 and you get your risk back.
So 200.
So your risk would essentially just go into the pending, right? So it's a pending wager, and then you win 100 and that risk returns back to you. So you don't win 200, but you get your $100 back plus another 100 that you actually won.
Chloe, this is why we don't get involved in anything, because girl math would be like, since I put 100 in, I would have forgotten about it. So then all of a sudden now I have won $200.
Yeah, I know.
And like
That's what
I couldn't handle that.
That's what plus 200 odds is. So if it's plus 200 odds and you put $100 in, then you get 200 back plus the 100 that you put in. So it'd really be, you're coming home with 300 then.
That's what there's so many like plus and minus and parlay and money line, and I just like to sit here and act like I know parlay, and I like to sit in here and act like I know like what's going on when Cam like says this kind of stuff.
Well, and then obviously there's point spread too. So there's minus or plus. So if you're minus,
I get that.
That means you're the favorite. And right now Kansas is minus 5.5 tonight, and Duke's minus 5.5 tonight. So the odds makers are saying they're going to win by 5 or more.
Yeah.
But we're going money line.
But we're going money line. So just them to win, and we're parlaying them as two together. That's how you get the better odds. But obviously both of them have to win.
All right.
It's going to be good. Lock in for tonight.
Lock it in.
Locked in. All right. Before we go, any final quick thoughts on Marquette men's basketball through the first couple games of the season? I'm a little worried about their scoring. I'm not gonna lie. I watched last night's game. They went on like a 21-0 run at one point. I'm like, okay, but then totally cooled off. I'm like, wait, no one's really stepping up. Do they have enough scoring? That's my concern.
Yeah, they've kind of done that now in the last two games. Obviously, the one in George Mason, they started off hot. They were up, I think, like 17-0 or 15-0, and then kind of cooled off for a little bit, and then finished the game on a strong note where David Joplin and Cam Jones took over.
Yeah.
Kind of last night the same thing. Royce Parham comes in at the 5, and they go on a big run, but then kind of cooled off for a little bit and finished the game a little stronger. It's they're going in waves right now, and for a team early on in the year, that's not to be unexpected, but they definitely have to have guys, other than Cam and Jop, step up in the shooting category and be able to knock down some open shots. And that's, one of the things that's a make or break. Obviously, you can play as good of defense as you want. You can play as hard as you want. You can get as many tips and deflections and do all that stuff. But at the end of the day, when there's an open shot that has to be made and you're on the court, you got to have guys who can knock it down. And that's how you win NCAA tournament games.
Yeah, totally agree. Echo all of that. I'm excited to see a couple people step up here in the next couple games. I also think, you know, it's really tough to play the George Masons and the Central Michigans. It's one of those teams that you're like, okay, like, let's go. It's going to be a good one of your games, but you're so amped up for the start of the season that you want to be like, they want to be in that like state tournament play, or that state farm thing playing Duke right now. Like, you can just tell, like, they are going to step up to the plate when it comes down to it. And I don't think that you should ever not come out against any team, and you never overlook anyone. So that's why I think that they needed to sharpen it up a little bit last night and on George Mason. But they're going to be excited for Maryland and Purdue and a couple of these games coming up. Georgia. So I think it's Maryland, Purdue, Georgia, which is going to be great next 3 games for them. And I'm excited to see them match up against some tough competition.
Yep, they play Maryland Friday at 7 at Maryland. Maryland's also 3-0. Haven't really played anybody this year either. But that should be a great matchup. And then after that, they play Purdue on Tuesday, 8 p.m. home game. That game is going to be at Pfizer Forum. You going?
We discussed this.
Yeah, no, I'm joking.
Purdue's 7-4 middle just broke his shin, so he is out.
Really?
Yeah, so it's going to be.
They probably got 2 more 7-4 guys ready in the stalls.
He was a freshman, and actually not really, because he's a freshman, and he was playing just because he has to. Yeah. Almost, he's definitely not strong enough to be out there. But guess who like landed on his shin to do this?
Who?
You'll never guess. Kean, who was a transfer from Marquette. They were playing his new team.
Kean and TJ?
Yeah, they were playing his new team. He
transferred to Purdue?
No.
Oh, I got
the team that Purdue was playing.
Yeah.
I don't know, whatever. And and he's the one that landed on him. So
okay, probably Northern Kentucky.
One more thing before we go. It's Chloe's best thing that you saw.
Oh my gosh.
We almost always forget about it, and it's such a good part of the podcast.
Okay, do I have to give Cam a background?
No, just play it. See if he knows what we're talking about. Because Lord, I hope so.
I don't think he does.
Well, play it and let me see.
Last night we let the liquor talk. Last night we let the liquor talk.
I know what he's talking about.
Last night we let the liquor talk.
Bree Chicken Fry was singing that in their house, and Zach Bryan got mad.
It is.
How good is that?
That's funny.
It's the Boston
best
Bruins.
Thing.
It is the best thing I've seen, because I literally was like, wow, this is great.
How do you guys feel about that whole situation? Do we have enough time left?
She's from Boston too.
Yeah, so she's from Boston. So like, to have that support is like so fun. It is the funniest thing ever. I hate Zach Bryan right now. And I used to listen to his songs religiously.
So you don't listen to him anymore?
I haven't listened to him.
You don't listen to him anymore?
No.
I get like weirded out because I'm listening to these songs. I'm like, what a fake.
I won't lie, I don't love it as much anymore.
I don't love it.
It's such good music though.
It's such good music, but he's literally like, it's like I'm listening to these songs that are so lovey-dovey and romantic, and then I'm like, you're a psycho.
Yeah.
Like he tries to like act like this is his life. Sorry, Carly.
No, how lucky are we that whole song? That was one of my favorite ones. Ruined. That was about them. She has the tattoo. She's the one who came up with that whole saying. So that's Ruined. Pink Skies.
Pink Skies is about Grace O'Malley. I can't even believe that.
Yeah. So Dave Portnoy is outing him on every single thing.
He is funny, man.
Yeah, he is the best.
He cracks me up.
Yeah, he is the most loyal friend. If you are on his team, like, you're lucky, because he'll do anything.
And you don't want to be against him.
No, you want to be on his side. And he is cracking me up in these podcasts, because he was planning on leaving BFF's podcast because he's like, I'm 50 years old and I don't need to talk about teenage drama anymore. And then this comes out and he's like, doesn't give like, he's 50 years old and he's acting like this. It's the funniest thing ever, and people are loving it.
Yeah, and props to Bree for not taking the 12 mil.
Yeah,
I'm a little skeptical about that though. I mean, you look up Zach Bryan's net worth, and people say he's worth anything from like $5 million to like $15 million. So how is he going to offer her $12 million to not speak? I was a little surprised by that.
They said it was like over the years. I'm pretty sure it was going to be like $3 million a year or something like that.
$3 million a year.
Over the 4 years.
Okay, that would make a little more sense if you spread it out. But I mean, I get it. She's probably getting paid a lot of money to talk about it too.
She is, and she like our uncle was over the other day, Brian. We were talking about how maybe like Dave Portnoy like said to her like, "Hey, listen, like you're gonna be fine. Like I'll help you out in 3 years if you're not famous anymore." But then she came out and she said Dave like had told me that he wasn't gonna pay me at all.
Yeah.
Like this was all my decision and all this stuff. But you got to think like in 3 years, if she doesn't have any fans anymore, if she's not really a good influencer, whatever it is, like Dave's gonna help.
She still will because their podcast was successful before Zach Bryan, right?
Yeah,
No,
and if I'm
100%,
on,
but,
if
not
I'm
'cause
on
of
this
Zach
earth,
Bryan.
you will have a fan.
She will have a fan. That's
no,
so true.
I think every girl is thinking that. I think a lot of guys are thinking that too. I mean, I didn't really know who Brie Chicken Fry was until this stuff came out, but I've
I
seen.
love Brie Chicken Fry.
What's her name? I don't know what it is.
No, it's like
LaPaglia.
LaPaglia.
But what do people call her? Chicken Fry? Or
No,
something?
no, you're right. You're right. It's just
Yeah.
so funny, like when people, it's like
I
refer
know.
to her
Kim's
as
like,
that.
I love Brie Chicken Fry. Like, is she, you know.
I'm saying I just see her in some of these social media clips talking
Yeah,
about
she's
Zach
cool.
Bryan, who I like, but now I don't.
Yeah.
It's kind of like not to this extreme, but the R. Kelly stuff. Like R. Kelly's got great music, but you can't listen to him now.
I know. You can't, I mean, like, it's just, it's tough. It's tough.
I would love to see.
He's an idiot.
I would love to see his like plays on Spotify. What
Yeah.
the trend is on the charts. I'm sure they've gone down. I mean, you guys said you haven't listened to him. I honestly, I would listen to him every morning, and now I have kind of
Same.
I listen to him every other morning, so it's like
It's all I listen to. Like, hey, Siri
know.
plays Zach Bryan. So it's, oh, no. Sorry, I didn't want to hear his voice. my phone was doing it when I said that.
I thought you were yelling at Augie.
I did too.
No. So yeah, it sure is interesting, but I think we're gonna have to switch over to Noah Khan because he's got some good music. I listened yesterday in the car. I don't know any words, but I'm just like trying to get into
You
it.
don't know Noah Khan? I like
I know
him.
I know some songs, but like I don't know a lot of it. So
No, Noah Khan's been great, but also do you hear Zach Bryan hated on him too and like
Oh,
debris
really?
and all this stuff? He's like jealous of these guys that like may have competition with him. Like Morgan Wallen's not worried about Zach Bryan. I hate to say it, but
That's
like
crazy that he wouldn't let her sing that. Like, what's the deal with that? Hold on.
Yeah.
he's a psycho.
I got one other guy too that I like, and he's actually really famous. But
Hosier.
no, oh, Teddy Swims.
Oh, I love Teddy Swims. He's
don't
great.
know.
Card.
I'll get in.
After this, listen to Lose Control.
Okay.
You know who?
Okay, well, it's like the most popular song
Well,
ever, Carly. If you haven't heard it, you have like
You've heard it a million times,
live
but
under a rock.
it's such a good song.
yeah. Have you heard Benson Boone?
I've heard of him.
Yeah, he is a big time song right now that all the
Yeah.
kids play.
Um,
Beautiful things that I got.
Oh yeah, I love that song.
Yeah, Benson Boone's great too.
I asked the Homestead girls the other day who should I play music, and they said put that song on.
Yeah, this is the thing. It's like there's the Benson Boones, the Zach Bryans, the Teddy Swims. They all got the same type of genre right now. And then on the other side, it's like Sabrina Carpenter, Olivia Rodrigo, Chappell Roan, Tate McRae. They're all the same. It's like kind of funny how it's like two different things. So, well, yeah.
And Zach Bryan just effed himself and lost all his fans now.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
Great move for the Boston Bruins. Loved it.
I love Claudia, SpongeBob SquareFace.
Somebody
That's what
said
she
that.
calls
The
him.
toast. The
Yeah.
toast on the toast.
Yeah.
SpongeBob
All right.
Squareface.
Yeah. All right. That will do it for the dinner table. It seems like Chloe needs some water. Thank,
My gosh.
thank you, everyone.
What are we ranking that though?
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
a 10
Give
for
me a
me. 10
ranking.
for me.
10 for me as well. That's good
God,
stuff.
I'm just doing well.
Yeah.
Back-to-back weeks. This is good.
All right. Thanks so
right.
much for watching and listening. Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.